Space Station 14, there are alternative ways to produce power besides the main engines. You just have to get a little creative. I'm just going to very quickly explain them. I'm not going to get super into the details, but this is Omega Station with everything turned on, no additional devices. I set up some more SMESs here just to make it a little bit easier to see how power is doing. The power monitoring computer is not all that helpful for figuring this out, and checking the power cables themselves is also only so helpful. So, an RTG. What is an RTG? Well, it is a radioisotope thermoelectric generator. On its own, without being broken, if you anchor it to a high voltage cable, it produces some power. However, if you just hit it a few times, you will break it and it will be a damaged one. It will output radiation in an AoE around it. It isn't really a whole lot of radiation, but it is a slightly concerning amount, but the range of it is rather important. Radiation collectors work simply by just having a plasma tank inside, and it will convert the radiation into power. If your station does not have radiation collectors, you can easily buy them for only 1,000 apiece. I would probably recommend getting about 8 if you want to actually power the entire station. Ideally, you want more collectors for more stable power, or just a lot of radiation. So one RTG is really not all that many rads. It's definitely not terrible. It's about 1 rad a second on the outskirt. What if we put another RTG off to the side like over here? Well, the amount of radiation is significantly higher, at least on this side. Over here is only partially affected. These aren't going to be producing all that much more. You could definitely set this up in a smarter way. Like you could put the second RTG right here. Salvage can find RTGs pretty easily. And with just that one extra RTG change, you can see the batteries are actually starting to fill up quite quickly, and there are 6 SMESs on this station. I mean, SMESs do cap out, basically, at how much they can actually, like, charge at a time. So it isn't a direct correlation to how effective you're actually charging it. It's more of a rough guess, but really what you want to see is if the SMESs are going up in charge, the station is happy with power. So what other forms of radiation are there? There's actually a very, very common one, also will be acquired through salvage, which is bananium. Bananium actually gives off a decent bit of radiation in a small area. 1 stack will give off 1 rad a second almost, which is almost as much as an RTG. It does not have as big of an area though. Like if I step over here, you can see the rads is down to point. It's actually, there are no rads right here, so it can actually make it a little bit harder for a collector. So as we can see with 1 stack right in the center of 8 radiation collectors, we are not powering the SMESs, they are draining. If we put a second stack in the same place, you can actually start getting some radiation effect out here, but the problem with the bananium, once again, is that it just has a small range. The SMES aren't discharging at full speed anymore, but as you can see, it's even struggling to go back up to 32. So 2 stacks isn't enough even for our mega station. We do a 3rd stack, again, it just is not really enough, but again, it seemingly slows how much it actually drains. It's pretty much frozen at 31% with 3 stacks. And again, getting 3 stacks of bananium isn't actually all that difficult. It's certainly not as practical as an RTG, but this can seemingly power a station for a long time. And with a 4th stack, I'm sure that will be enough to actually start producing power. Yes, it is. So 4 stacks of bananium surrounded by radiation collectors will actually start powering a station again. And it's basically indefinite because, well, you just have to fill the plasma. But actually, again, Cargo can order plasma for a pretty expensive amount, but most likely Cargo or Atmos will have extra plasma. And if you work with them, you can keep the station powered basically forever. And there is no risk to destroying the station with some bananium. There are, again, other sources of radiation. I have not seen this one done in a little bit of time, but higher severity gravity anomalies produce more radiation. So this one's actually at 30%. If we increase the danger percentage by just a little bit, so what we're going to do is we're going to increase its severity by at least 60% and just keep it there. Let me make sure it is in delta containment. So we can actually observe that the SMESs at this severity are somewhat stable. This obviously isn't all that practical, but 60% isn't all that high, and you can use this to actually harvest energy. The SMSs are actually indeed charging slowly from this. This is, again, another possible way of creating practically infinite energy. Another common source of radiation is alien artifacts. They can often output a ton of radiation. This is actually outputting more than any of the previous ones I've shown previously, and I have seen even more deadly. So if we just put the artifact... damn it. If we put the artifact in the middle, that'll give it the most even. Holy crap. So we're just going to put the artifact roughly in the middle. And as we can see, we're still getting a bunch of rads even over here. With an alien artifact and the rad collectors, we are again producing more power. As we can see, the SMES is actually properly charging. Yeah, that is basically it for alternative power sources. Power goes out a lot, and science and cargo actually have direct access to basically all of these. Cargo alone, with just some money and finding a broken RTG, can help power the station basically forever. Because cargo can get a hold of everything they need on their own to do this. Science can definitely help as well. Anyways, with some collaboration with the different departments, you can power the station indefinitely with basically no risk. And, well, everyone likes power, other than syndicate agents, but we're not talking about them. Anyways, that's all I got. Thank you for watching.